Okay, welcome back. This is going to be the only video you need when it comes to SMT. I'm going to make sure I cut out all of the marketing and the gay stuff that people like to add to make it seem more complicated than it actually is. This game is actually very simple. Not easy, but it's very simple. But people like to complicate it to seem smart, to chase a sense of significance because they're egotistical. In this episode, we're going to help you master the SMT. Don't know why I'm giving it away for free, but I don't really care, to be honest, because you still need a mechanical system. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. That's what I offer my students. Mechanical systems with protocols that fit their personality. And you can't get that for free because out of respect for them, I'm not doing that. So let's jump straight into it. How can you identify an SMT? That's going to be the first question that everyone ever asks me. And for this example, I'm using XAU to XAG, which is gold and silver. Now, most of you use, let's say, EU and GU and maybe DXY. But for this specific episode, it's for gold. So, yep, I know you're probably going to sign off all my days, but I came in for, I don't really care. This is for the pair that I trade specifically and NQ2, but you can extrapolate this and use it other places. How do you identify an SMT? Well, there are two ways. Firstly, you have a low, you have a high. This is bullish, by the way. You have a low, you have a high, you have a lower low, you have a higher high. And you have a stop rate. That's the first normal entry that we use, right? Stop rate, order block, IFG breaker. This is the normal rhythm. Then there's this, which is you have the low, you have the high, you have a higher low, and then you have a higher high. Take that in. The low is not swept, it becomes a failure swing. Now, on the pair that creates the breaker block, that signifies there was a stop rate, market structure shift. On a pair that has a failure swing, which is low resistance liquidity runs, by the way, which means this will get to the drawn liquidity faster than this will. I could go into depth, but again, that's gay. You don't need extra information. Just understand the pair that makes this pattern, that has the failure swing and creates a mitigation block, which a mitigation block is just when there isn't a stop rate. So it becomes a mitigation block. The pair that creates this formation on the SMT is going to get to the drawn liquidity faster than this one. Typically, not 100%, but typically. So now, one thing I've always taught from the beginning to the ninth ending, if you go back into my posting, you will see it right there. I told people, an SMT, you can identify this by if a mitigation block forms, there is an SMT on a pair that you don't even need to look at. I'm going to say that again. If you have a failure swing, which leads to a mitigation block, there is an SMT on a pair that you do not even need to identify. That's it. Same with a breaker. If there's a stop rate, I can almost guarantee you a stop rate at a higher time frame key level in the direction, a stop rate at a higher time frame key level that has occurred in the opposite direction of the higher time frame bias, directional bias, has an SMT. Now, there's this term, what do they call it? SMT. I know ICT wasn't the one that made that. I can guarantee you that. SMT. It's gay. I'm going to be honest, it's gay. Let me keep it as simple as possible. An SMT only should be considered as a confluence when you are at a higher time frame key level that justifies your higher time frame bias. An SMT that appears just randomly, it doesn't matter because it needs to be at it needs to be in alignment with your higher time frame drawn liquidity. So, and I'll get to an example after this. Let's say, for example, this is the 4-hour. This is the 4-hour BISI, right? Because we're bullish. This is the 4-hour BISI, and we're using the 5-minute time frame. Yes, I'm giving you time frame alignment for free. Now, as you can see, we get a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, higher high, and then we have the retracement and this mitigation block. Instantly, in my mind, I'm going to know if gold is forming a mitigation block and a failure swing, I can almost guarantee myself if I go to silver, silver is going to have a breaker block and a stop trade. That's it. Now, it's the 5-minute. Why does this become more valid? Because it tells us that smart money are in the markets. Now, let's talk about simple IPDA, if you don't know what that is. There is only offset accumulation and offset distribution. Offset distribution is the bearish formation of the bullish offset accumulation. What is offset accumulation? Why are you making it sound so hard? Let me tell you, it's quite simple. Offset accumulation is, let's say, for example, smart money creates a false swing at a macro time. Check my recent post. You know what macro time is. False move, so a false retracement, basically. So, price comes low. This is the offset. People are going to think it's a fake bull flag. Some people are going to enter their positions, and smart money is going to buy straight into these sell stops, and they're going to take it up. Then there's going to be some people that were smart enough to buy. Smart money are going to use offset, and the expansion is the confirmation of the accumulation of retail sell stops in this scenario. Smart money buys into retail sell stops and they sell into retail buy stops. And that is offset accumulation. So as you can see, offsets accumulation, simple. You as a ICT, CRT, SMT trader, as long as you're using anything that's in alignment with ICT, Michael J. Hudson, every retracement after a mitigation or a breaker block has formed should be seen as smart money creating an opportunity to buy into retail sell stops at a premium or at a discount. That's it. I'm going to say that again. Once this forms, which a breaker signifies market structure shift, as well as a mitigation block signifies a market structure shift. Once this forms, understand these are protective lows, these are protective lows. Understand this is a protective low. And every retracement should be seen as, like you see in football. If you haven't watched football, I feel sorry for you. In football, Messi does a body feint. He acts like he's going to go right when you know he's actually going to go left. And he acts like he's going to go left when he's actually going right. You have to see retracements as a body feint towards retail, which are dumb money, who are going to see, oh my God, my position's going against me. Let me stop. Let me leave. And as soon as they leave, smart money buys into that and they go right. They body feint left and they go right. They body feint right and they go left. Simple. Keep that in mind. That's the SMT. How do you validate an SMT? What is a valid SMT? A valid SMT simply occurs, and you only consider it after you know what the higher time frame bias is. And then when price retraces to a higher time frame PD array, so let's say your daily bias is bullish and price is dropping into a 4-hour BISI, as we've said, and then you drop down to the 5-minute, and once that BISI has been mitigated, purged, whatever you want to say, rebalanced, anyways, redelivered, once you see an SMT, which is a false swing, and then you see this form, which is a mitigation block, it means there's an SMT on a pair that you don't need to look at. In the same way over here as well. And that's what SMT is. It's smart money technique. It's simply for those who are smart and for those who understand the markets, that understand that smart money are in the market, which just gives you extra validation. Now, another thing I want to give to you, the SMT confirms the total suit. The SMT confirms the offset accumulation in this case. The SMT confirms order pairing. The order block confirms the SMT. The ICT confirms the order block and the SMT. The breaker confirms the ICT, the order block, the SMT. The breaker / mitigation confirms the market structure shift. That is it. And I'm going to end this video here because I can't give away too much out of respect for my private students. If you want to join the mastermind, DM me and I will see if you can get accepted. I'm only offering 3 to 4 seats for the rest of the year because it is very tiring having to dissect other people's problems all the time. But I do it for the love of the game, so that I have testimonials and God sees that I was actually giving back to the community like I had said I would. And this is a free video, so you guys can't say, oh my God, you're charging for it. I gave you a free video in it. And go to my YouTube channel and you'll see I actually give away a lot of things for free. But at the same time, I have to value my time and all the losses that I took to give you this free information. So there isn't anything wrong with getting paid for your knowledge. So I hope you live for as long as you want, and I hope you never want for as long as you live. God bless.